Hello everyone, Tony Mello, Mello Properties team. Hope you're all doing well. I am going to read some items here off of a book that I'm studying based on federal fair housing laws, what's prohibited, what you can't do. And then I'm going to kind of expand on that a little bit and maybe even say a few things about what we do and how we do what we do and why it is that we're doing certain things. All right, so federal fair housing laws prohibit. First line item here is discrimination against anyone in a protected class when it comes to the sales and rentals. So, protected class, and there's different levels here, or at least at different times during our history, new things were getting added on. But for the most part, that includes, there's a long list at this point now. Race was the very first one back in 1866. And then after that, race, religion, familial status. Familial status is the status of your family, whether or not you do or don't have kids. Gender, the sex of the person that is trying to buy or rent a place. I know, and that stuff goes on. Disabilities came in afterwards. Race, it's the usual list that you kind of hear when this kind of stuff comes up. That entire list of people at this point are protected, so things have to happen in a certain way across the board with everyone to make sure that everyone is being taken care of. I don't disagree with any of that stuff. That stuff is all good, is what it is, and it should be there. It does add challenges, but it's our job to overcome those challenges and make sure that we're doing our business in a way that is even for everybody. So, second line item, use of different terms or policies for various people, treat everyone the same. All right, so at least for the rentals, I do this. When I send a return email to people, we don't do a lot of rentals. We try not to do a lot of rentals, but we do them. We have certain investor clients, people from the past that we've worked with, have done rentals for those people. We do them. So, but back to the email. When you send me an email, I send you back a very specific templated email. That's for a specific reason. I don't want rental prospect A saying that I said something different to them than I did for rental prospect B. So when I do these rentals, it's the same format. I copy, I paste into that email. You get the same thing that everybody else gets. Whether you read it or not, that's up to you. But we will send you that same templated email to everyone equally across the board. That way, there is no misinterpretation as far as I didn't know that, I did know that, you sent that person this thing, you sent that person that thing. That won't happen with us. Do we do the same thing with the other side, the buyer clients, the listing clients? We almost don't. I haven't come across a situation where, at least to that extent, I need to do the same kind of thing. So when it comes to the rentals, our we have a heightened sense of this stuff and do what we need to do to make sure that everything is done in a certain way so that we don't get in trouble. And plus I want to make sure everything is fair. So next line item, steering someone to or away from a unit, house, or neighborhood based on the color of their skin, ethnic or racial background, religion, sexual orientation, etc. That entire list. Again, that goes back to, at least for rentals, that templated email where you get all the same information. I'm not steering you away from one thing or the other. Here's what we have. Here's what is required. First, last, security, credit score of this, income of that, the things that the owners are legally allowed to mandate and ask. If it applies to your situation, it applies to your situation. I pass the stuff along. I process the applications. Here you go, and they make the decision. If it doesn't apply, you don't have the credit. You don't have the. I apologize, but those are the rules. People will complain, oh, my credit and this, that, and the other thing, and what's credit got to do with it? This is part of the business. I don't make up the rules. These are the steps that I have to take, and this is what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. So, um, blockbusting, I think I'm there. Making statements or remarks that may cause people to sell their properties. Blockbusting leads to panic peddling. Example, people are moving into this area, and that may result in values dropping. You should sell now while you can still get top dollar. So that's what that is. Obviously, I've never really seen anybody do this kind of thing, but I mean, I suppose at some point in time somebody has done that, can do that, or you can't do it, but they have done it. So that's what blockbusting is, panic peddling. When I have a listing presentation, I don't tell them that the prices are going to go up or go down because of anything. They approach me, they say, I want to sell my house. We start the conversation with, what it is that you think your house is worth, and here's, some information as far as what I've found that it might be comparable to your house. And the conversation goes from there. I don't knock on doors and say, you got to sell your house today. I don't do any of that stuff. And again, I've never seen anybody else do it either. Falsifying availability about housing. Example, 3 people call about looking for a 2-bedroom apartment. One of these people told you they have a 4-year-old son. One of the apartments she can afford has lead paint, and you do not tell her about the apartment. You just violated her rights and the law. My listings are on MLS. I send everybody all listings. We have a Facebook page where everything is listed in there. Everyone's welcome to that page. We send them to that page. Go through the list. If it's something that you're interested in, you let me know. I sent you that templated email, and then we go from there. If you match, you match. If you don't, you don't. So again, that Facebook page, the MLS, all the stuff that we have and do, we do for a specific reason. And again, some of the stuff, this is supposed to be for sales and rentals, but you'll notice that, in there it'll kind of diverge into the rental side. Rentals are dangerous, so we're all very edgy when it comes to that kind of stuff. We tell everybody about all our rentals, all our listings, all the time. They pick and choose what they want as far as out of that list that we have available. They get the templated emails, and then we go from there. Discriminatory advertising. Any advertising that indicates someone is excluded. Example, and I've seen this before, not from real estate agents, but from people that are posting on Facebook pages. Example, nice 2-bedroom home near a beach, $1,500 per month, no kids. Can't say that. Can't say no kids. That's that whole familial status thing. I've seen people say, great for business professionals. Can't do that. The general rule, if it's not in here somewhere, is describe the property, not the people that you want to be in the property. So when you look at our advertising, it is just that. It describes the property. It makes no mention whatsoever to whether it's the sales side or the rental side, as far as the people that we're looking for, other than credit, income, that kind of stuff. All right, so that's advertising. Redlining. This is when someone is being offered unusual financing terms for anything other than sound economic reasons. That's more of a lending thing. Obviously, they can't discriminate, do certain things that they're not supposed to be doing, giving different rates to different people for reasons that they shouldn't be. That all makes sense. Again, I've never seen it before. I'm sure it has happened. I'm sure it's happening right now. It's just I've never seen it. So, coercion, intimidation, or interfering with a person's right to buy or lease because of their background within the confines of the law. So, I don't know what they mean here by background. So, there's certain things that are protected, certain things that are not protected, and we work accordingly. We don't force anybody to do anything. Coercion, intimidation, interfering. Again, here's the listings. Here's the canned email, templated email. Apply, don't apply. Appraisal reports that have a negative impact on value because of the entrance or occupancy of people in a protected class. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I have heard of stories where some people thought that and I had questions on that at the time I had read that story. They thought that the appraisal report that they got was undervalued because they were people of color, So, and I read the entire story, and there were certain things in that story that didn't make sense to me because, most times, I've never seen a case where it didn't happen. They don't know who it is that owns the house. You know what I mean? So it's possible that they could have seen maybe pictures on the walls. There was something specific about that story where I picked it out and I said, "Wait a minute, this just doesn't make sense." So, but obviously, appraisers have the same kind of responsibilities that real estate agents do. You can't discriminate. You can't. That whole list of people that are protected. And it's kind of just crazy that an appraiser's job is to go in 11 minutes is to go in and find the value of the property. Who's living in the property? That has nothing to do with the value of the property. So if that has happened, and it probably has happened, that person deserves to get in trouble, because I mean that's just flat out stupidity. So, all right, so that's a few things off of this fair housing laws that prohibit, or what they prohibit in that fair housing laws. Again, it started back in 1866 with race, and kind of went through 1974. Male female protections were in there, female protections. That's when they were doing that whole women can vote kind of thing, and it propagated on to other things that should have protections. So, all right, Tony Mello Properties team, 508-369-9755, 12 minutes. That was a little bit on fair housing laws and things that are prohibited within fair housing laws, and some of the stuff that we do to make sure that, we're complying with this and making sure that we're even keeled. I know we've had people complaining about our emails, but again, we do certain things a certain way, evenly for everybody, for a very specific reason. All the information's in there. Everyone gets all the information all the time. So, hope you're all doing well. Tony Mello Properties team, 508-369-9755. Have a great day.